Good morning, everybody. It is Jamie and Amy here having our coffee. We noticed that we're using different mugs today, so I decided to use my coffee chat mug, although I do have tea. I have apple cinnamon tea. And you're probably drinking your black coffee.
No, I never drink black coffee. I drink my French vanilla coffee pretty much daily.
In your new mug that you just got, you said was a gift.
Yes, and I wasn't sure who sent it to me, so I put a post on my Facebook, and then
It's
I
really
found out
cool.
that my aunt sent it to me. I don't want to spill my coffee on my computer, but if you can see, it even has Vincent's signature on the
That
inside.
is really cool.
Yes. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what a nice surprise. I love it.
That is a very cool mug. Well, I do see some people starting to hop on, and we wondered if you noticed anything a little bit different about this particular coffee chat. It is our last one for 2023, and it's a different time. Right, Amy? We decided to do it at a different time. So I think Amy's taken a second to share into our groups so that people can be notified that we are live, because we had a lot of people that were very interested in this topic about tech suggestions. And we had actually come up with the topic because there were several people during the last video that were asking kind of tech related questions. And so we're always kind of paying attention to what it is that you ask about, what it is that you need help with, and just from our experience, giving our top tips of what's working for us. The other thing that we wanted to tell you about is, I see Loretta. Hey there, Teresa. I see Tony popping on. We're doing things a little bit differently in 2024. And one of those things is we are going to change the coffee chat time to 10 a.m. for a couple of different reasons. So, one, that was Amy's suggestion because she said 10 o'clock would work better for me for to be more awake, to have more time in the morning, whatever. It also works a little bit better for the people who are watching on the West Coast. So that gives them a little bit more time in the morning because of the time difference. And the other thing that we are doing is we are keeping our coffee chats because we're all about trying to be more efficient. Tell us if you're always trying to find like more time in the day. We're always trying to find more time. We're always trying to be more efficient, and we want to put as much value in as possible in the shortest amount of time as possible. So not only are we starting our coffee chats at 10 a.m. in the new year, we're also going to limit our coffee chats to 24 minutes. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, and we're going to do 24 minutes of our top tech suggestions. That's a little bit hard to say for 2024.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead. I hardly ever have my sound up, so I'm going to turn my sound up, and that way we'll hear it. So Teresa says she stays up all night to get a lot of things done, so she'll be awake. That's awesome. So yeah, and Tony says it'll give her more time to get on. So awesome. Yes. So 24 minutes, because we know that your time is valuable. Our time is valuable also. And we want to try not to get off topic, right? Like, we call it a coffee chat, and we could sit here and chat. Amy and I, sometimes after the coffee chat, we'll keep chatting. But we want to be respectful of your time and give you the most value as possible. So 24 minutes. So we thought that we would give our top tech suggestions. And the reason I put suggestions, Amy, and I don't know if you kind of agree with this too, that we love like sharing what's working for us. But sometimes what works for us may not work for you. because your area is different, your following is different, your purpose, all of these different things. So suggestions of it's working for us, it might work for you too. So is that kind of,
yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. Because there's so many things out there. And I mean, just the people that I follow and my mentors and stuff. And it's like, you can't have everything and do everything. So you have to kind of pick and choose what's right for your business. So yeah, I do agree with that. It's a suggestion and tips on what we do and use,
Yeah. Yeah. So I know that one of the questions that came up, and I don't see her on here yet, but the last time that we were on our coffee chat, somebody asked about text messaging. And actually just last night I was watching a video and she even told her following, I don't think she's on here either yet, hey, I'm going to try to start in 2024 to text you and let you know when I'm live. So Amy, do you use text messaging?
I do. And Jamie, you're the one that got me into the remind text, because prior to that, actually 2 steps back, quick story. In the beginning, when my business was not generating any money or a minuscule amount, I literally used my own phone. And to my hardcore followers, I'm like, text me, and I gave them my real cell phone number.
Wow.
Now, of course, a lot of you are probably like, no way, right? But that kind of helped me just get started. And I think I had 24 people on here. But note to all of you, like, you can't just send out group text messages a lot with a cell phone, because you can be marked as spam. So then as my business started growing, I did sign up and pay for the community text service.
Yes, I remember when that was really popular.
Yes. But then it was a really neat and intuitive program to use. But for me, even though I was making some money at that point, it still was not financially conducive, because they were putting the price up and it was pretty expensive. So then, Jamie, when you and I started chatting, even before our coffee chats, I know we bounce ideas, off of each other, and I asked you what you were using. So, and I had heard from another business friend of mine that reminded me, right? We're talking about remind. So when you said, what you were using, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look into that. So that's kind of how my texting world went. It went from my cell phone to my community, and then to using what you use, Jamie, the remind.
Yeah. I'll tell you the funny story about how I started that. And this strategy has nothing to do with tech, but getting curious about things will help you so much in your business. Because I had heard a lot of people using that community, and I wasn't prepared to spend money on that. So I was watching another influencer, somebody in the creative world. It was Christy Doherty, and she was doing her lettering or whatever. And in her description of her video, she said, click this link or call or text this number or something. And I was curious. I was like, wait, that looks different than community. That doesn't look like, and it was a number. So I just got curious and I Googled it, and I was like, what is this? I had never heard of Remind. I had never heard anybody talk about it or anything. And I looked at it and it said it was free. I was like, my husband always says, if it's free, it's for me. Right?
Yeah, I love that.
So that was why I started using it. So I would love to know in the comments if you use text messaging for your business, if you have a paid text messaging that you use, if you're using some, because there are other free ones, I believe, than just Remind. That was just the one that I kind of landed on. And that's, again, like what I would say about the text suggestions that we're going to give. It is all about, find what works for you and kind of stick with it, and keep your blinders on, because there's always going to be other options. That doesn't mean the other options are better. I've gotten to use Remind. So that's better for me because I've gotten familiar with it. Could there be another one that does more options for free? Possibly, but I'm more efficient now with Remind, so I have to weigh out the time that it would take me to learn something new. So I just kind of stick with that. So that would be my top suggestion is, or one of the top suggestions is, if you are at a place in your business where you are wanting to get people to show up to your lives, if you are wanting to find a way that's very relevant, now 5 years from now, we may have something totally different than text messaging that's more relevant, right? So you kind of always have to be, keeping that in mind.
Maybe
And
we will have, like on the first Star Wars, what is it called? When he was talking to Princess Leia and you can see her figure right. I'm like,
yeah,
we're gonna have
yeah,
that pretty soon.
yeah,
Then
we
we
will
can
have
walk
that.
in your living room and be like, hey, get your coffee, come hang out with us.
Yeah, that would be so fun. Like a little video kind of, yeah, that would be fun. I don't remember what those are called.
I don't
So,
either, but maybe by then we'll all have our Oculuses on and we can, just hang out with each other on a mountaintop or
yeah,
by a river, wherever you all want to be.
yeah. I'm curious too in the comments if you could tell me that you showed up on this video because you got the text reminder from me. Because I did send out a text this morning. I don't always for our coffee chats, but I always send out one for my Monday live videos. And then, I try to remind myself to do it for these coffee chats too. So I'm
And
just
let me
curious.
know
Yeah.
if you got my remind, because I also sent out a
Yeah.
remind. So yeah, let
Yeah.
us
So you
know.
might be on too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Remind, I've just learned how to use it. I think there's like a help section in there, and I teach how to use Remind in my Create course. There you go.
I got
Yeah.
mine. I put myself on my own list,
Yeah. So Cheryl says holographic image, and she got text from both of us. That's
Cheryl,
awesome.
you're right on it.
Yeah. Now I
Maybe
have
we
not
should.
Yeah, I have not figured out exactly how to navigate sending the direct link for the video in the Remind, because you have to do that like after the video starts. So that's a
Yeah.
little bit more tech advanced than I can manage right now. So I just send out the link to my business page. I do know that if you create an event, you get a notification that way. And somebody was just telling me the other day it took them right to the video. So I might try that next time, setting up an event, giving the link for the event, and then that takes you right to the video. So maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know I do. You're right. It is another step to link the exact video, but sometimes I do that when I'm live on my business page. I'll wait till the video starts, grab the URL, go back and put it into the text, and then send it. So I know it's easier for all of you when you get it that way, because then you can just press it and go right to the video. Sometimes I just, because I'm kind of doing it all here as a one-woman show. So sometimes we just don't have enough time. So if I just send it out, just the link to my page or whatever. Either way, at least your people can be notified.
Yeah. So I was thinking about a couple of other, and I kind of had in my head like the top 3 or the top 5 kind of tech related things. So I'm curious, what's your next top suggestion for related to text?
Oh, to text or tech?
Tech. Yes.
Okay. I'm like, wait.
I didn't have coffee. I'm having tea.
Let me look at my list. Well, I would say my next most important one for me is my Ascend email marketing system. So
I was going to say that as one of mine too.
Yes. So I use Ascend. It doesn't sound very popular. I've never
I'm
heard
not
of it
familiar
before.
with Ascend.
Yeah, until I started email marketing with my Wix website, because they have all kinds of cool things integrated with that. So that's what they use with Wix. And
Okay, so you have the website and then it integrates with this email plugin. Right. Is that kind of like what that, or is it it just connects with?
It's like
I'm not familiar with it.
It's a whole system that is it is already integrated, so it's not really a plug-in,
Okay.
but you have to pay. They give you with whatever you, let's see, when I first started off, they gave me 3 free Wix shout outs using the Ascend system.
Mm,
But then, once I got used to that, of course, I've upgraded since then. So now it allows me to do 20 per month. That's all I need right now, but eventually I'll upgrade again so I can have unlimited. But I like it for the fact that it's connected with my Wix website
right.
dashboard. So when I go there, I don't have to go multiple places. I can work on my website. I can work on my membership. I can answer questions. I have chat bots, everything all integrated with it. And then I can just click if I want to send an email, and I can make a campaign. So for me, because I'm using Wix, my Ascend is really important. So I would say for me, that's like high on my list to be able
Yeah.
to send email campaigns.
Yeah. I was definitely going to say email campaigns too. And again, I'm using Constant Contact because that's what I started using. Could I switch over and use Ascend? Could I use Aweber? Could I use MailChimp? I saw somebody. Yes, you could use any of those. I'm going to continue to use Constant Contact because it's working for me. I've gotten comfortable with it. Well, now they've changed a few things. So, new learning curve there. But I would have to learn all of my emails are there. So, yes, having some kind of, what do they call it, a CSM, customer service management, which I can do my emails, my landing pages, my email automation, all these different things in there. I can do lead generation, all of those things. Mine started off very inexpensive. And after about a month of collecting emails, and I think that I tried to email them directly from my regular business email. I don't even know. I might not have even had a business email yet. So, but I was trying to email them, which you're not supposed to do that way. Like you said, it could be
Yeah.
considered spam and, that mass email kind of thing. It was an easy justification for me to spend the money for that one. And now that I have more emails, it has increased. It's still like the best business because it does the most things for me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Texting, email system, and the other tech that I was thinking of that I don't know that some of us probably even think about? My phone. I manage on, I would love to know in the comments what kind of phone you have. Droid, iPhone, and like what model you have. For the first couple of years, I got by on like an S8 or something. I don't. And once you are running a lot of your business from your phone, because really my phone gives me the time and location freedom to run my business in a lot of different places, right? So I can be outside, I can be, whatever, on the front porch, I can, be at a coffee shop running my business from my phone. It was definitely worth the investment for me to upgrade to a newer phone. So having a newer phone, you don't have to get like the newest, but having a newer phone that actually runs and does the things that you want it to do. I can edit my photos. I can, send the text message from Remind. I can do all of those things so that when I'm mobile and out, I can still do my business. I don't have to bring a laptop with me. So, yeah. Would you say, could you have a Droid or do you have an iPhone?
I have both, but I use my
Oh,
iPhone more. Yeah. I use my iPhone more. And literally I have not a very good phone. It's pretty old. I need to upgrade here pretty soon. And I have just the floor model. Like it's just an SE. But it works. It works for me. And my Android, geez, I don't even know. Um, not even sure what. I'd have to go into the settings and all that to see what it is. But this one's a pretty good one. And like, look at all the cameras. I don't even know how to use all the
I
cameras
know.
on here. but I
Yeah, I think I have
do
like 5 or 6. Yeah.
like this one as well. And I like how this one, my Android is bigger, has a bigger screen than my iPhone, just because, you know, it's
I kind of
easier
had to
to
get
see.
used to the bigger screen, but I really like it now. I don't know how I functioned on the smaller little screen. Yeah. Laura was saying that she has a newer one. A lot of people are saying because of the camera capabilities. I definitely like the camera on mine. So, yeah, Laura says she does most of her business stuff from her phone. Loretta says it's a computer, not a phone.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I very rarely use mine as a phone. Yeah, very rarely. So far we have text, we have the email, and we have our phone. And we talked about the website kind of in conjunction with the email system. What other kind of tech would you say, Amy, that are important for running a business?
Let me look at my list here and pick the next most
You have a
important
list
one.
beforehand.
They're all important. See, I always have a list going. I would say, it's kind of a toss up. I mean, I'm going to say Zoom. Okay. I have upgraded over a year ago to the paid version because I need that for my membership and for our meetings. And I didn't want to keep getting bumped off. So, you know, I upgraded to the paid version. Plus, you get more options with the paid version of Zoom. But I didn't always have the paid version. I used the free version for a couple of years, and then
you can make things work.
Yeah. Then I upgraded when I needed to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I got Zoom at the beginning of the pandemic when they were giving the extra minutes for people to be on Zoom. So I did kind of get used to having the longer Zooms. So it wasn't long after they took that away that I went ahead and started paying because that's $12.99 per month, and they give you a deal if you sign up for the whole year or something. So yeah, I would agree that Zoom, especially for me, because one of my core values is community, and you're able to build community in a different way on Zoom that you can just, this face to comment, kind of idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Zoom. And I also do the StreamYard because you can do different things like this with the StreamYard. So I don't use StreamYard as much, but Zoom does a lot of the same things, and you can use it in a lot of the same ways as StreamYard. So you wouldn't necessarily have to have both. I like to be able, because we do these coffee chats and I do some other interview style things, which is why I like the StreamYard.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I would
pay
agree that Zoom.
$15 a month. For my Zoom is $15 a month for $14.99.
Oh, maybe it is. Oh, I'm thinking of the next tech thing that I was going to bring up is $12.99, I think. So yeah, and so that's
my StreamYard. I probably should have canceled and then re-jumped in when they had the big, Black Friday sale. But I do have my StreamYard as well, and I'm paying $25 a month for my StreamYard. But I need both of them. I'm at that place in my business where I need both. But I started out with not having StreamYard and just using the free version of Zoom. And that's what I did for a while, And then when I felt like, oh, I got to move to the next level, then I grabbed what I needed.
Yeah. If you're primarily, well, I wouldn't even say primarily, but if you're doing a lot of online things, having Zoom, I think, is one of the main. If you're doing a lot more in-person things, then I think that you can do a Facebook Live and use that's already built into a business page. But Zoom gives you abilities to do things even if you don't have a Facebook business page, or even if you aren't primarily doing things online, you can still use the Zoom, like online on Facebook, you can still use the Zoom. So we have 3 more minutes of our 24 minutes. And the last thing that I was going to say, and I know that you use this one too, is Canva.
Yeah, that's on my list as well.
I don't know, because I am sure that I log into Canva every single day.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I
almost
would,
every single day that I'm
yeah,
working. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to know if you use Canva, if that's your go-to for your, graphics and different things like that. Because there is a time where you have to have more market looking things, for your sales pages, your landing pages, your website, different things like that. I think there is something to just photos that are unedited, that are unfiltered, things like that, that are real and authentic. But there are times when you have to have more infographics and different things like that. So, and that one is the one that I'm thinking is the $12.99 for the paid version. And I started doing the paid version because I would try to search for something and all the elements and stuff that I wanted to use were the pro version. So
yeah.
it just made it easier to go ahead and yeah. And
I need to
I
go
use
back
it every
in
day.
and check my payment settings because I did have someone working for me for quite a while, and now I have someone else. But when I did have this person, I added her to my Canva, and I had to upgrade for it. So I'm paying 15 a month for my Canva. Um, and I can't remember how many people they'll allow to be on that team. I think maybe it's like
Oh,
5 or
okay.
something like that. But there's like different levels. So I have the pro as well, but it's like another level to have someone, a VA or graphic designer come in and help me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to know, those are our top kind of things. We have like 1 minute. So we had our texting, our email / website system for collecting emails and doing all the things. And then we had our Canva. We had the Zoom. Are those all the different ones?
Did you
I think
say
that
email
was,
marketing?
yeah, like our email and then our
Yeah, so
website.
text, Reline, Zoom, email marketing,
Canva.
and Canva.
Yeah, maybe and our phone. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
right.
those are the top, I guess those are 5 things that I would say that if you were to place in your business, upgrade to those and the paid versions of those, when you can. I don't think that you have to, oh, there it is. I think we did pretty well.
Yeah.
I would just say, upgrade as you can, the phone, if you can kind of keep it at least kind of current. And as you're growing and collecting emails, that's going to increase. There are costs to doing business. And, the fact that we have a Facebook business page that right now we, don't have to pay for, there are other costs, and we get to use this one as a platform to be able to use for our businesses. So yeah. Any questions that you have about other tech? I see some other ones coming in about Linktree and differences and things like that. Go ahead and put those in the comments. Obviously, since it is the holiday weekend, Amy and I will try to come back to them and answer as much as we can. But part of the reason that we wanted to keep these videos to 24 minutes is because both of us offer places and areas and services and programs to go into more in-depth conversations about these kinds of things and the things that we had during the coffee chat. So Amy has her group that she has, and she has her course, and she has her membership. I have my group and my course, and soon to be another little offering of going deeper with the people who've already come through my course. So we both have those things. So please be respectful of our time and know that if it's not a question that we can answer in one sentence, you probably want to get into one of our programs or our courses or someplace where we spend a lot more time on Zoom, and we can go into those things deeper, more, one-on-one or, in a group kind of setting, things like that. So,
Yeah.
yep. So we'll try to come back and answer questions as much as possible. But if it's a question that would involve more than just a quick answer, we're probably going to say, yeah, why don't you come over here and, let me tell you about this. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So very good. Anything? Laura says, well said. So we were talking about this a little bit after the last Zoom and going forward into 2024. So very good. Anything you wanted to add, Amy? I think we did well sticking to our 24 minutes as a trial run for 2024.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you pretty much covered it. The only thing is I just wanted to answer Tamara's question because it had to do with what we were talking about. She's asking what's the difference between StreamYard and Zoom. There's not really huge differences, I wouldn't say, but for me, I really love the breakout rooms that we can utilize in Zoom. So if I do, big sessions, and I mean, I just feel like Zoom's a little more intuitive to use, a little easier to use. StreamYard has some sound glitches sometimes. A lot of people have issues with that, but I do love StreamYard, so don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
James,
depends
if there's
on what you
anything
want to
can
use it
add.
for. Yeah.
Yeah. But I use StreamYard mostly for live streaming, and I use Zoom mostly for my private group meetings.
Yeah. I'd say the one big difference, and it's kind of implied in the name, is StreamYard, you can stream to multiple places. Zoom, you cannot. So that's like the one, if I'm thinking about, like right now, I'm streaming to my business page. I could also be streaming to multiple other places. So you could do and there are limitations with StreamYard. You can only have so many people. Zoom, you can have a lot more. So it depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you all hanging out with us. I had a good time with my new present that my aunt sent me.
I know. I love
Starry
it.
Night. So I'm going to drink some more coffee. And, I already started my day and took a little break to hang out with Jamie and all of you. But Merry Christmas to you all, too. I hope you have a wonderful holiday for sure.
Yep. And look at our events, because the next time that we meet, I think that we did decide it was going to be on your page, and it was going to be like the second Friday or something in January. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be traveling.
You're traveling and stuff. We have just keep an eye on both of our pages, and you'll see the next time that we're going to be on. We try to do every other week, but depending on what's happening with Jamie, what's happening with me, sometimes we have to switch it up, but not often.
Yeah. So very good. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for popping on and your comments and letting us get to kind of know what tech it is that you're using already, and, other questions that you have about tech that we talked about. So very good.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.